New York City, Little Italy. Rain pounds the cobblestones of Mott Street. Steam rises from sewer grates. In a basement apartment, a man sits sharpening knives. Luca Brasi, 32 years old, 6 feet 4 inches, 250 pounds of muscle and madness. Luca Brasi is not a man. He is a monster wearing human skin. For 8 years, he has worked as enforcer for rival gangs, the Irish, the Jews, whoever pays. His reputation spreads through whispers. 6 men killed in one night during the Castellamarese War. 2 hitmen from Chicago tortured for 17 hours, one choked on towel, the other dismembered while still breathing. Brasi watched, no emotion, just efficiency. The families fear him, but cannot control him. Psychopath has no loyalty, only appetite for violence. 3 months ago, something worse. His own mistress gives birth to his child. Brasi doesn't want complications, takes baby from her arms, throws infant into furnace, holds woman down, makes her watch, then strangles her. Police investigate, find nothing. Midwife witnessed everything, too terrified to testify. Brasi is untouchable, or so he believes. Now sits in basement, counts money from latest job. $2,000 for breaking dock workers' strike. Broke 15 arms, 3 skulls. Union surrendered in 4 days. Good week. Knock at door. Brasi opens. 2 men stand in rain. Represent Giuseppe Mariposa, Irish crime boss controlling East Harlem territories. Mariposa has problem. Vito Corleone, that olive oil importer expanding into Mariposa's neighborhoods, taking gambling operations, buying politicians, making friends where Mariposa made enemies. Mariposa wants Corleone gone, first man says. Permanent. Brasi listens, studies contract. $10,000 to eliminate Vito Corleone. Another $5,000 if his family suffers first. Send message. Make it hurt. Brasi accepts, not for money, for sport. He has heard of Vito Corleone. Everyone has. The nice guy of organized crime. Helps immigrants with rent. Finds jobs for neighborhood boys. Speaks softly. Never raises voice. Attends church every Sunday with his wife and children. Weakness disgusts Brasi. Real power comes from fear, from pain, from making people understand you will hurt everything they love. Vito Corleone plays family man, plays community leader, but underneath, just another small-time olive oil salesman pretending to be gangster. Brasi begins surveillance, watches Corleone compound on Long Beach, sees Vito with wife Carmela, 3 young sons, Santino, age 5, Federico, age 3, baby Michael in crib. Perfect family, perfect targets. Brasi plans carefully. Not the quick kill Mariposa wants, something better, something that breaks man before death. Take the baby, make Vito beg, show the neighborhood their hero is powerless. Then kill infant in front of him, then kill Vito, then burn entire compound. Leave message no one forgets. 3 weeks of preparation. Studies hospital routines. Carmela Corleone pregnant with 4th child. Due next month. Security light at maternity ward. Night shift nurse smokes outside every 2 a.m. 15-minute window. Enough. Brasi tells associates his plan. They warn him. Vito Corleone is protected. Pete Clemenza, Salvatore Tessio. These are serious men. Brasi laughs. Serious? I've killed serious men. Corleone is shopkeeper playing gangster. His wife makes pasta. His soldiers are delivery drivers. I will take his newborn from hospital bed, and when he comes crying, I will show him what real power looks like. Other criminals nod nervously. Nobody argues with Luca Brasi. Not if they want to keep breathing. But privately they think, this is mistake. Vito Corleone is different. Quiet. Patient. Dangerous in ways Brasi doesn't understand. But Luca Brasi understands only one language, violence. Has never met problem he couldn't solve with knife or rope or fire. Vito Corleone will be no different, just another victim, another body, another proof that kindness is weakness waiting to be exploited. Brasi sharpens his knives, prepares rope, studies hospital maps, everything ready. In 2 weeks, Carmela Corleone gives birth, and Luca Brasi will teach the nice guy of Little Italy a lesson he will never forget, or so Brasi believes. What Luca Brasi doesn't know, Vito Corleone already knows about the contract, about the surveillance, about the hospital plan. Vito knows everything and waits, patient, calm, planning response that will change both their lives forever. Brasi sees weakness in Vito's kindness. Soon will learn. The most dangerous men are those who choose mercy, because when they choose violence, they do so with purpose, with precision, with understanding of exactly where to strike. And Vito Corleone is about to strike, not with knife, not with gun, with something far more powerful, with words that will break a monster's soul. December 1933, St. Vincent's Hospital, Manhattan, maternity ward on 3rd floor. White tile floors, smell of antiseptic. Carmela Corleone gives birth at 11:47 p.m. Healthy boy, 8 pounds, 4 ounces. They name him Santino after Vito's father, the baby who will one day be called Sonny. Vito sits beside his wife's bed, holds her hand, whispers prayers of gratitude. Outside the room, Pete Clemenza and Saltesio stand guard. They know about the contract, about Luca Brasi, about Giuseppe Mariposa's plan, but Vito refuses extra security inside hospital. Too many men attract attention, he says quietly. We wait. Clemenza doesn't understand, neither does Tessio. The Don knows a psychopath wants to hurt his family, yet acts as if nothing is wrong, attends to his wife, holds his newborn son, smiles peacefully, like man without enemies. But Vito knows, always knows, has informants in Mariposa's crew, knows Brasi watched hospital for 3 weeks, knows the plan, the 2:00 a.m. window, the smoking nurse, the 15 minutes of vulnerability. So Vito waits, patient as always. 2:00 a.m. Night nurse steps outside for cigarette, right on schedule. Security guard at front desk reads newspaper, doesn't notice shadow moving through stairwell. Luca Brasi climbs to 3rd floor, silent despite his size, moves like predator, rope in pocket, knife in boot, plan simple, take baby, leave note. Wait for Vito to come begging. Brasi reaches maternity ward, peers through window, sees Carmela sleeping, baby in bassinet beside bed, no guards inside room, perfect, exactly as expected. The powerful Vito Corleone leaves his newborn son unprotected, proof of weakness, proof that nice guys finish last. Brasi enters room, crosses to bassinet, looks down at sleeping infant, so small, so helpless, so easy to take, reaches down, lifts baby. Santino doesn't cry, still drowsy from birth. Brasi wraps him in blanket, turns toward door. Vito Corleone stands in doorway, not with gun, not with soldiers, just standing there, hands at sides, face calm, voice soft as whisper. Luca Brasi. Not question, not accusation, just statement of fact. Brasi freezes. How did he know? How did he arrive at exact moment? The confidence drains from Brasi's face, replaced by confusion. Nobody surprises Luca Brasi. Yet here stands Vito Corleone, as if he was waiting, as if he knew everything. Put down my son, Vito says. Still quiet, no anger in voice, just instruction. Brasi holds baby tighter, instinct. When cornered, predators attack. I could snap his neck before you move. You could, Vito agrees, steps into room, closes door behind him. But you won't. Why wouldn't I? Because you're not here to kill baby. You're here to send message, to make me afraid, to prove your power. Vito takes another step, slow, measured. But killing infant solves nothing. Mariposa still wants me dead. You still need leverage. Dead baby is just corpse. Living hostage has value. Brasi's eyes narrow. This is not how victims speak, not how weak men negotiate. Vito Corleone talks like man holding winning hand in poker game. So what do you propose? Brasi asks. 3 hours of conversation, you and me, private location. You bring my son, I come alone. After 3 hours, you decide, kill me, kill baby, take Mariposa's money and walk away. Or Vito pauses. Listen to what I have to say, and then decide. Why would I waste 3 hours talking? Because you're curious, Vito says simply. Because in 8 years of killing, nobody has spoken to you like I am speaking now, without fear, without begging, with respect for your intelligence. Brasi considers. This is trap. Must be. Yet Vito Corleone offers himself, alone, unarmed, walking into a situation where Brasi holds every advantage, either suicidal stupidity or confidence beyond comprehension. Where? Brasi demands. Warehouse on Catherine Street. You know it. Empty at night. Private. You choose the room. You hold my son. I sit across from you. 3 hours. Then you decide. Brasi stares at Vito, searching for trick, for weakness, finds neither. Just steady gaze of man who has thought through every possibility, who planned this moment, who wants this conversation. If I kill you there, nobody knows, Brasi says. Clemenza and Tessio know. They are waiting downstairs. I told them where I go. If I don't return with my son by dawn, they burn Mariposa's operations to ground. Every warehouse, every gambling house, every politician he owns. War that destroys everything, including you. They can't touch me. Perhaps, Vito acknowledges, but Mariposa can. When you cost him empire, he will send 20 men, 30, 50, eventually they find you. Eventually you sleep, and when you do, Mariposa will make you suffer for losing his war. Brasi's jaw tightens. Vito Corleone has trapped him perfectly. Forward leads to conversation. Backward leads to war. Killing baby kills leverage. Killing Vito kills future. Every option leads to same place. 3 hours in warehouse. Fine, Brasi says. 3 hours. But at first sign of trick, I break baby's neck. There will be no trick, Vito promises. Only truth, only conversation, only opportunity for you to understand something important. What could you possibly tell me that I don't know? Vito's eyes hold steady. That power is not what you think it is. That strength comes from unexpected places. That man who can inspire loyalty is more dangerous than man who can inspire fear. He pauses. And that Luca Brasi is not monster, just man who never learned difference. Brasi laughs, harsh, bitter. You don't know anything about me. I know everything about you, Vito says quietly. Your father, your mother. What happened in basement when you were 7 years old? What man did to your mother while you watched? What you did to that man when you turned 16? I know why you kill, why you hurt, why you trust nobody. Brasi's face goes pale. Nobody knows these things. Nobody could know. His childhood is buried. His past is dead. Yet Vito Corleone speaks of it like reading from book. How? 3 hours. Vito interrupts. Catherine Street warehouse. You will bring my son. I will bring truth. And then Luca Brasi, you will make choice that changes everything. Brasi stares at man before him. No longer sees weak shopkeeper. Sees something else. Something that doesn't fit his understanding of power. Vito Corleone has no weapons, no threats, no violence. Yet Brasi feels more afraid now than when facing armed gangs, because Vito sees him, really sees him, past the monster, past the reputation, into places Brasi buried decades ago. Catherine Street, Brasi agrees, voice shaking slightly. 1 hour. 1 hour, Vito confirms. Steps aside, allows Brasi to leave with baby, doesn't try to stop him, doesn't call for guards, just watches as psychopath carries his newborn son into night. Clemenza and Tessio rush upstairs, find Vito standing alone, Carmela still sleeping, bassinet empty. Don Corleone, Clemenza breathes. He took, I know what he took, Vito says calmly. Call nobody, follow nobody. In 1 hour I go to Catherine Street warehouse, alone. When I return, I will have my son and something more valuable. What could be more valuable? Tessio asks. Vito smiles, small, knowing. Luca Brasi's soul. Outside, Brasi carries baby through dark streets, heading toward warehouse, still confident in his power, still certain of his superiority, still believing Vito Corleone is weak man playing dangerous game. In 3 hours, Luca Brasi will learn what real power looks like, and his life will never be the same. 3:15 a.m. Catherine Street Warehouse, Lower Manhattan, 5-story brick building, abandoned for 2 years, broken windows, rusted fire escapes, perfect location for conversation nobody should hear. Luca Brasi arrives first, carries baby Santino wrapped in hospital blanket, infant sleeps, unaware of danger, unaware his life hangs in balance. Brasi climbs to 3rd floor, large empty room, wooden crates stacked against walls, single overhead light still works. He tests it, dim yellow glow illuminates space. Good enough. Brasi positions himself strategically, back to wall, view of door, escape route through window behind him if needed. Places baby on crate, keeps hand near infant's throat. Insurance, leverage, the only thing preventing Vito from calling soldiers. Checks watch, 3:47 a.m. Vito should arrive soon. Brasi expects trick, expects hidden men, expects ambush. His free hand rests on knife in boot. Ready, always ready. Footsteps on stairs, slow, measured, no attempt at stealth. Vito Corleone walks through darkness like visiting friend's home, reaches 3rd floor, steps into doorway, stands in light, alone, exactly as promised. No gun visible, no backup, just Vito in dark suit, white shirt, hands empty, face calm, eyes steady. He looks at baby on crate, then at Brasi. No fear, no anger, just patient attention. May I sit? Vito asks. Brasi gestures to crate across room. There, no closer. Vito nods, walks slowly, sits, folds hands in lap, waits. Brasi stares. This is wrong. Victims don't behave like this. Don't walk into traps willingly. Don't sit peacefully while monster holds their child. Yet Vito Corleone radiates calm, as if he controls situation, as if Brasi is guest, not captor. You promised 3 hours, Brasi says. Clock starts now. Thank you for this opportunity, Vito responds, voice soft, respectful. I know you could have killed my son, killed me, taken Mariposa's money. That you are here means something. Means I'm curious what lie you'll tell. No lies tonight, Vito promises. Only truth. About you, about me, about what we both need. He leans forward slightly. Luca Brasi, born 1901, Brooklyn, father worked docks, longshoreman, good man, tried to be. Brasi's jaw tightens. How does Vito know this? Mother's name was Catherine. After the street, Vito continues. Pretty woman, kind woman, your father loved her very much. Stop. You were 7 years old when Dominic Russo started visiting your building, collected protection money, saw your mother, wanted her, your father refused. So Russo hurt him, broke his legs, made him watch what happened next. Brasi's hand trembles. I said stop. For 2 years, Russo came to your apartment. Your father couldn't walk, couldn't protect Catherine, could only listen. And you, 7 years old, 8, 9, listening in next room, learning that power means taking what you want, that weakness gets punished, that violence is only language that matters. How do you know this? Brasi's voice cracks. Nobody knows. He told nobody, buried it, drowned it in blood and alcohol and rage. I know because I listen, Vito says quietly. Because when man works for me, I learn everything. Your father died when you were 16, fell downstairs. Police said accident. But you and I know truth. Dominic Russo pushed him, removed obstacle, wanted Catherine for himself. Tears form in Brasi's eyes. He wipes them away angrily. Weakness cannot show weakness. 3 days later, Vito continues. Russo disappeared. Found in harbor 6 weeks later. Body beaten, broken, barely recognizable. Police investigated. No witnesses, no evidence. Case closed. I was 16, Brasi whispers. Nobody suspected, kid. You protected your mother, like son should, like your father would have wanted. I killed him, Brasi says, voice hollow. Took 3 hours, made him feel everything he did to her, everything he did to my father. I wanted him to understand, to beg, to know what powerless feels like. And did it help? Vito asks gently. Brasi stares at floor. No, mother still broken, I still broken, Russo dead but damage already done, so I kept killing, kept hurting, kept trying to feel something, anything, but only feel empty. First hour passes, Brasi talks, Vito listens. Baby Santino sleeps peacefully, unaware conversation happening above him, unaware monster's mask slowly cracking. Brasi describes next years, killing for Irish gangs, for Jewish syndicates, for anyone who paid. Each murder easier than last, each victim another attempt to fill void, but void only grows, until Brasi forgets what being human feels like, becomes weapon, becomes thing, becomes monster everyone believes he is. So I became it, Brasi says. If world sees monster, why fight? Easier to embrace, to make them right, to stop pretending I'm anything else. But you are something else, Vito says. Second hour beginning. You are man who protected mother, who avenged father, who understood loyalty before understood hate. That man still exists, buried, forgotten, but alive. That man is dead. If he was dead, you wouldn't be here, Vito counters. Dead men don't accept 3-hour conversations. Don't bring baby to warehouse alive when could kill him at hospital. Don't keep promises to strangers. You brought my son here, breathing because part of you, small part you ignore, still believes in something beyond violence. Brasi looks at sleeping infant, so small, so innocent, like Brasi was once, before Russo, before blood, before becoming weapon. What do you want from me? Brasi asks. Not what you expect, Vito says. Not servitude, not fear, not even loyalty yet. Just want you to understand something important, something nobody ever told you. What? That power built on fear is temporary. Power built on respect is eternal. Russo had power. Where is he now? Dead in harbor. His power died with him. But your mother, you? You remember, because real power lives in memory, in loyalty, in bonds that survive death itself. Third hour approaching. Outside sky lightens. Dawn coming, but in warehouse time stops. 2 men, 1 baby. Conversation transforming both. Vito leans forward. Luca Brasi. I know what you did. I know your crimes. I could tell police about midwife witness, about furnace, about everything. Could destroy you with single phone call. Brasi tenses. Here comes threat. Here comes trap. But I won't, Vito continues, because I understand. Not condone, not approve, but understand. You a product of world that hurt you, made you weapon when should have made you man. And now I offer choice, different path, different possibility. Why would you help me? Because, Vito says, voice carrying weight of absolute truth. Men like you are rare, capable of incredible things, terrible things, but also loyal things, protective things, if given reason, if shown path, if offered belonging instead of isolation. You spent 16 years being used. I offer something else. Partnership, family, purpose beyond killing. Brasi laughs bitterly. I'm psychopath. Families fear me. Why would yours accept me? Because I see what others miss, Vito says. Man who kills for money is mercenary. Man who kills to protect mother is son. You were son first, became killer second. I offer chance to remember which came first. And if I refuse, if I take Mariposa's money and walk away, then you walk away. Vito says simply, I will not hunt you, will not seek revenge, will mourn my son, will accept my failure to reach you, will regret opportunity lost, but will respect your choice. Because unlike men who use you, I give you choice, real choice, freedom to decide own path. Brasi stares. 3 hours nearly complete. Baby still sleeping. Warehouse still empty. No trap, no soldiers, no trick. Just Vito Corleone offering something Brasi never had: understanding, acceptance, belonging. "Why do you care?" Brasi whispers. "About psychopath? About killer? About monster?" Vito stands, walks closer, slowly, stops 5 feet from Brasi, looks him in eyes. "Because monsters are made, not born, and what men make, men can unmake. You are not monster, Luca Brasi. You are wounded man carrying wounds so long, forgot what healing feels like. I offer healing, not through weakness, through strength, through purpose, through family that protects instead of uses." Baby Santino stirs, opens eyes, looks up at Brasi. No fear, just infant curiosity. Reaches tiny hand toward monster's face. Brasi freezes. Infant's fingers touch his cheek, soft, trusting, innocent. Everything Brasi hasn't felt in 24 years. Tears fall, cannot stop them. Baby doesn't flinch, just touches, accepts, sees man, not monster. 3 hours end, 6:47 a.m., Catherine Street warehouse. First light of dawn filters through broken windows. 3 hours complete. Baby Santino still touching Luca Brasi's face. Tiny fingers exploring monster's cheek. Tears still falling, cannot stop them. Brasi looks at Vito, then at baby, then at his own hands. Hands that killed 6 men in 2 weeks. Hands that strangled, that burned, that destroyed everything they touched. Now holding infant who trusts him, who sees something Brasi forgot existed: humanity. "I don't know how," Brasi whispers, voice breaking. "Don't know how to be anything except this." "You learn," Vito says simply. "Same way you learn to kill. Practice, patience, purpose." Brasi lifts baby carefully, stands, walks to Vito, extends arms, offers Santino back, hands trembling. Baby transfers to father's embrace, safe, unharmed, not single scratch. The psychopath who came to kidnap returns. Child untouched, Vito cradles his son, checks him, healthy, sleeping again. Then looks at Brasi. "Thank you." 2 words, that's all. No threats, no conditions, just gratitude. As if Brasi did favor instead of crime, as if returning baby deserves thanks instead of arrest. Brasi falls to knees, giant man collapsing. "I'm sorry, I'm so sorry. I wanted to." "I know what you wanted," Vito interrupts gently. "I also know what you chose. Second matters more than first. Men are defined not by temptations, but by decisions." "Mariposa will send others," Brasi says. "Contract still active. Other men will try. Men worse than me." "Let them try. I could..." Brasi stops, swallows. "I could stop them. Could make sure nobody touches your family. Not Mariposa, not anyone." Vito tilts head, studying. "Why would you do this?" "Because you saw me," Brasi says. Raw honesty. "Not monster, not weapon, me, real me. Nobody ever saw that before. And you offered, you said..." Voice breaks again. "You said family, said belonging, said I could be something other than this. And you want that? I don't deserve it." "Deserve is a complicated word," Vito responds. "Nobody deserves forgiveness, yet we give it. Nobody deserves second chance, yet we offer it. Question is not deserve. Question is, will you honor gift? Will you protect instead of destroy? Will you build instead of break?" Brasi looks up, eyes red, face wet. "I will die for you, for your family, for your sons. Will kill anyone who threatens them. Will do anything you ask, just don't..." Chokes on words. "Don't send me back to empty, to alone, to being weapon nobody wants except when they need killing done." Vito sets baby in crate gently, walks to Brasi, offers hand. "Stand up, Luca." Brasi takes hand. Vito pulls, not just physically, symbolically, pulling man up from depths, from darkness, from pit Brasi fell onto at age 7 and never escaped. They stand face to face. Vito speaks, voice carrying weight of oath, of promise, of transformation. "Luca Brasi, I accept your service, not as weapon, as man, as member of my family. You will protect my sons. You will work alongside Clemenza and Tessio. You will have respect, purpose, belonging. In return, you give loyalty. Not blind obedience, loyalty. Difference is choice. You choose to serve, choose to protect, choose family over contracts, over money, over everything. I choose family, Brasi says immediately. Choose you, choose this, forever. Then it's done, Vito says, extends hand again. Different gesture, handshake, seal of agreement. Welcome to Corleone family, Luca Brasi. They shake, deal made, monster transformed, psychopath reborn. In 3 hours, Vito Corleone accomplished what police, priests, and psychiatrists never could. Gave Luca Brasi reason to be human again. Outside warehouse, Clemenza and Tessio wait, anxious. 45 minutes past dawn. Don Corleone should have returned, should have called. Something wrong, must be. We go in, Clemenza says, draws gun. Heavy. Wait, Tessio points. Door opening. Vito emerges, carrying baby, alive, healthy. Behind him, Luca Brasi follows, not threatening, not attacking, just following, like bodyguard, like soldier, like family member. Clemenza and Tessio freeze, confused, terrified. Brasi walks toward them. They raise weapons instinctively. Lower guns, Vito commands. Luca Brasi is under my protection now, works for me, part of family. Don Corleone, Clemenza stammers. This man tried to, was going to, Vito agrees. Past tense. Now he protects my sons, protects our family, protects our interests. This is my decision, my responsibility. Anyone who harms Luca Brasi answers to me personally. Clemenza and Tessio lower weapons slowly, stare at Brasi. Monster who terrorized New York now stands behind their Don, docile, loyal, changed. How? Tessio whispers. Conversation, Vito says simply. Sometimes most powerful weapon is understanding. They drive back to Long Beach compound, Brasi in back seat, silent, watching baby, protecting already. When they arrive, Vito hands Santino to Carmela. She weeps, holds son, kisses him, thanks God. Then looks at Brasi. Fear flashes across her face. Natural response. This man took her baby. Carmela, Vito says gently. Luca Brasi saved our son, brought him home safe. He is family now, under my protection. Carmela studies Brasi, sees tears still wet on his face, sees shame, sees something broken, trying to heal. Catholic woman, believer in redemption. She nods slowly. Thank you, Mr. Brasi, for bringing my baby home. Brasi nearly collapses again. Gratitude from woman he wronged, forgiveness he doesn't deserve. I'm sorry, Mrs. Corleone, so sorry. We'll spend rest of life making this right. Then we have agreement, Carmela says, strength in voice. You protect my children. I give you place at my table. Fair exchange. Contract sealed, not with violence, with mercy, with second chance, with family embracing monster and calling him man. Word spreads through underworld. Luca Brasi, feared psychopath, now works for Vito Corleone, exclusively, permanently. Giuseppe Mariposa hears news, furious, summons Brasi for explanation. Brasi doesn't come, sends message instead. Contract cancelled, tell Mariposa. Touch Corleone family, I kill everyone he loves, starting with him. Mariposa panics, knows Brasi's reputation, knows what he's capable of, backs down, abandons territorial dispute. Within month, leaves New York entirely, moves to Boston. Fear of Luca Brasi drives him from city. Other families learn lesson. Vito Corleone doesn't just defeat enemies, turns them into allies, takes monster and makes him loyal, takes psychopath and gives him purpose. That kind of power, psychological, transformative, more dangerous than any army. Because if Vito can control Luca Brasi, who can't he control? 3 months later, rival gang threatens Corleone gambling operations. Vito sends Brasi, alone. 24 hours later, gang surrenders. All operations transferred to Corleone family. No shots fired, just Brasi's presence, just reputation, just knowledge that monster now has master, and that master uses him with precision. Brasi becomes Vito's personal enforcer, shadow, weapon kept in reserve, most effective deterrent. Everyone knows he exists, everyone knows his loyalty, everyone knows touching Corleone family means facing Luca Brasi, and nobody wants to face Luca Brasi. 6 months after warehouse conversation, Vito hosts dinner, family gathering, Clemenza, Tessio, their wives, children playing. Luca Brasi sits at table, uncomfortable, doesn't know how to behave in family setting, watches others, copies their manners. Young Santino toddles over, 6 months old, walking now, reaches up to Brasi, wants to be held. Brasi freezes, looks at Vito for permission. Vito nods. He remembers you, Luca, from warehouse. Babies know who protects them. Brasi lifts Santino carefully. Child laughs, grabs Brasi's nose. Everyone at table tenses, then relaxes, watching monster play with baby. Gentle, patient, human. Carmela serves pasta, passes bowl to Brasi. Eat, Luca, you're too thin. Man your size needs proper meals. Brasi stares at food, at family, at belonging he never thought possible. Tears threaten again, blinks them back. Thank you, Mrs. Corleone, for everything. Thank my husband, she says. He saw what others missed, gave you chance nobody else would give. Brasi looks at Vito, across table, man who should have killed him, who should have taken revenge, who chose understanding instead, who offered family instead of death. I will never betray you, Brasi says, voice thick with emotion. Never abandon you, never fail you. This I swear, on my life, on my soul, on everything I am. I know, Vito says quietly, because you chose this, and men who choose loyalty are more faithful than men forced into service. This is why you will be my most trusted soldier, Luca Brasi. Not because I command you, because you choose me. The man who came to kill Vito's son now holds that son in his arms. The psychopath who knew only violence now sits at family dinner. The monster who destroyed everything he touched now protects everything Vito loves. 3 hours of conversation, 3 hours of truth, 3 hours that changed 2 lives forever. The reversal complete, 1 year after warehouse conversation. Luca Brasi stands outside tenement building on Elizabeth Street, watching, waiting, target inside, Giuseppe Mariposa's cousin, man who insulted Carmela Corleone at market, called her whore of immigrant. Big mistake. Brasi doesn't need orders, doesn't need permission, just needs to know someone disrespected the family. That's enough. Target exits building. Brasi approaches. Conversation lasts 30 seconds. Man apologizes, profusely, promises never to speak Corleone name again. Brasi nods, walks away. No violence needed, just presence, just reputation, just knowledge that Luca Brasi protects Corleone's now. Word spreads. The psychopath has master, the monster has family, the weapon has purpose. Other families take notice, adjust plans, abandon schemes, because touching Corleone family means facing Luca Brasi, and nobody wants that. The olive oil war begins. 3 rival families attempt to monopolize olive oil imports, control docks, control distribution, control profits. They approach Vito, demand he surrender his operations, share territories, bow to their alliance. Vito declines politely. 3 families send message, burn Corleone warehouse, $50,000 in inventory destroyed. Meant to intimidate, to show power, to force cooperation. Instead, they awaken something worse. Luca Brasi volunteers. Vito accepts, gives one instruction. Make them understand, but no innocents, no families, only soldiers. Brasi nods, understands, this is not personal rage, this is calculated message. Difference between monster and enforcer. Monster kills everyone, enforcer kills precisely. 48 hours later, 6 men dead. Hitmen from rival families. All soldiers, all armed, all dangerous. Brasi killed them alone. In room where they plan next attack on Corleones. Police find bodies. No witnesses, no evidence, just message carved into table. Corleone territory, stay away. Olive oil war ends within week. 3 families surrender operations, beg for peace, offer reparations. Vito accepts graciously, but everyone knows truth. Not Vito's diplomacy that won war, Luca Brasi's loyalty, his willingness to die protecting family that gave him belonging. Other families whisper, how did Vito do it? How did he turn Luca Brasi? What secret does he know? What leverage does he hold? They send spies, ask questions, offer Brasi money to switch sides, double his salary, triple it, anything. Brasi refuses every offer, not because of money, because of family, because Vito saw him, really saw him, gave him purpose beyond violence, gave him reason to wake up each morning, gave him belonging worth dying for. Band leader Les Halley exploits Johnny Fontaine, Vito's godson, takes 50% of singer's earnings, refuses to release him from contract. Vito offers $10,000 buyout. Halley laughs, demands $50,000, thinks he has leverage. Next day Vito returns, brings Luca Brasi, brings Genco Abendando. They enter Halley's office, closed door. Vito makes same offer, $10,000. Fair price, reasonable price. Halley refuses again, starts to call security. Brasi moves, not violently, just places gun on table. Between them, doesn't point it, doesn't threaten explicitly, just sits there, message clear. Vito speaks softly. Mr. Halley, either your signature or your brains will be on this contract, your choice. Halley signs, takes $10,000, releases Johnny immediately. Hands shake as he writes. Brasi watches. Doesn't need to hurt him. Fear does work, but controlled fear, precise fear, professional fear, this is difference. Old Brasi would have killed Halley for insulting Vito with refusal. New Brasi understands. Dead men can't learn lessons. Living men spread warnings. Halley tells everyone, don't refuse Don Corleone, not with Luca Brasi standing behind him. Al Capone sends 2 hitmen to New York. Contract on Vito Corleone. Chicago mob expanding east. Wants Corleone territories. Figures killing Don solves problem. Hitmen arrive quietly. Professional assassins. Dangerous men. Track Vito's movements. Plan ambush outside restaurant. Wait in alley. Guns ready. Luca Brasi waits too. Behind them. Silent despite his size. They don't hear him approach. Don't realize until too late. Brasi takes both down with bare hands. No guns needed, no knives necessary, just strength, just skill, just determination to protect Don at all costs. He binds them, gags them with towels, brings them to warehouse, interrogates, learns everything, who sent them, who funded operation, who gave orders. They talk, everyone talks eventually. Fear makes men honest. Then Brasi delivers message. Dismembers one with axe while other watches. Other hitman chokes to death on gag. Terror induced, watching partner destroyed. Knowing same fate awaits. Heart gives out before Brasi finishes. Bodies sent back to Chicago, in crates. With note, Corleone sends regards. Try again, more come back in pieces. Capone backs down. Abandons New York expansion. Respects Vito's power, but really respects Luca Brasi's loyalty. Because loyalty like that, absolute, unquestioning, ferocious, cannot be bought, cannot be intimidated, cannot be stopped. Corleone soldier makes family look bad, gets drunk, brags about connections, mentions names in public, attracts police attention, small mistake, forgivable mistake. Most bosses would reprimand, demote, forgive. Luca Brasi doesn't forgive mistakes that endanger family. Kills soldier, quietly, efficiently, without hesitation. Not because Vito ordered it, because family protection matters more than individual lives, because loose lips sink ships, because Brasi understands his job is security, absolute security, no exceptions. Vito learns about killing, doesn't punish Brasi, doesn't reprimand, just looks at him, sad eyes, disappointed eyes. Luca, I give orders, not you. Man made mistake, deserve second chance. Brasi drops to knees. I'm sorry, Don Corleone. I thought I was protecting. I know what you thought, Vito says gently. Your heart was right, method was wrong. Next time, ask me first. Trust my judgment, not just your instinct. Yes, Don. Brasi weeps, not for killing, for disappointing man who saved him, for betraying trust, for acting like old monster instead of new man. Vito lifts him up. You are learning, Luca, slowly, but learning. Violence is tool, not solution. Remember this. Brasi remembers. Never make same mistake again. Every action afterward runs through Vito first, every decision checked, every move calculated, because disappointing Don Corleone hurts worse than any physical pain. Other families watch transformation continue. 12 years since warehouse, 12 years of absolute loyalty, 12 years of protection, 12 years of Luca Brasi choosing family over everything else. They realize something terrifying. Vito Corleone didn't just recruit enforcer. He created true believer, man willing to die, willing to kill, willing to sacrifice everything, not for money, not for power, for belonging, for family, for love he never knew existed until Vito showed him. This is why other families fear Corleones, not because they're violent, because they inspire loyalty beyond reason, beyond survival, beyond self-interest. Luca Brasi proves it. Monster transformed into martyr, psychopath reborn as protector, all because Vito Corleone spoke truth for 3 hours. By 1945, Luca Brasi's reputation is legendary. Most feared enforcer in New York, most loyal soldier in any family, most dangerous man to cross, but also most tragic. Because everyone sees monster, only Corleones see man underneath, man who wanted belonging, who needed family, who found both in 3-hour conversation nobody else witnessed. The transformation complete, the reversal absolute. The man who came to kill Vito's son became the shield protecting all Vito's sons for 12 years, until death, until final loyalty tested, until ultimate sacrifice required. And when that moment comes, when Solozzo and Tattaglia plot against Corleones, Luca Brasi will volunteer, will walk into trap knowingly, will die protecting family, just like he promised in warehouse 12 years ago. Because some transformations are permanent, some loyalties are eternal, some conversations change everything. Forever. December. Connie Corleone's wedding day. Long Beach compound transformed. White tent, string lights, tables loaded with Italian food, 300 guests, half the neighborhood, politicians, judges, business owners, and representatives from 5 families, all paying respects to Don Vito Corleone. Inside compound, Luca Brasi sits alone, corner table, away from crowds, practices speech, mumbles to himself, nervous, anxious, 12 years of loyalty, 12 years of service, yet still terrified of disappointing Don Corleone, still afraid of showing disrespect, of saying wrong words, of failing family that saved him. May your first child be a masculine child. Brasi rehearses, simple words, traditional blessing. But his massive hands shake, voice cracks, starts again. May your first child. Stops, wrong emphasis, tries 3rd time, 4th time, 5th. Other guests notice, whisper, point. That's Luca Brasi, Vito Corleone's shadow, most feared enforcer in New York, yet nervous as schoolboy before meeting Don. What power must Vito possess to command such respect, such devotion, such absolute loyalty from absolute monster? Michael Corleone sits with girlfriend Kay Adams. She watches Brasi, fascinated, confused. Michael, that man over there is talking to himself. See that scary guy? He's a very scary guy, Michael confirms. Well, who is he? What's his name? His name is Luca Brasi, and he helps my father out sometimes. Michael explains, about Les Halli, about contract, about Brasi holding gun while Vito negotiated. Kay listens, eyes wide. This is world Michael comes from, world of fear, of violence, of men like Luca Brasi. But Michael doesn't tell full story, doesn't mention warehouse, doesn't explain 3-hour conversation, doesn't reveal how psychopath became protector. Some stories belong to Vito alone. Some transformations are private miracles nobody else witnessed. Brasi finally enters main house, walks through crowd, men part like sea. Nobody wants too close to Luca Brasi. Even at wedding, even during celebration, fear remains, respect demands distance. He reaches Vito's study, knocks gently, giant fist barely touching wood. Enter, Vito calls. Brasi steps inside, sees Don Corleone behind desk. Older now, 65 years old, silver hair, tired eyes, but same patience, same understanding, same man who saved Brasi 12 years ago. Don Corleone, Brasi begins, voice shaking. I am honored and grateful that you have invited me to your daughter's wedding, on the day of your daughter's wedding, and I hope their first child will be a masculine child. Stumbles slightly, but completes speech, reaches into jacket, pulls out the envelope, cash, $10,000, largest gift anyone will give. Brasi's way of showing respect, of proving worth, of demonstrating loyalty through action. Vito accepts envelope, sets it aside, stands, walks around desk, embraces Brasi, like son, like family. Thank you, Luca. Your presence honors me. Your loyalty humbles me. Your service protects my family. For this, I am forever grateful. Brasi weeps, cannot help it. Don Corleone's gratitude means everything, worth more than money, more than power, more than life itself. This is why he serves. This is why he kills. This is why he would die without hesitation, because Vito Corleone sees him, really sees him, still sees man underneath monster. Outside study, other family representatives watch. Don Barzini, Don Tattaglia, Don Cuneo, Don Stracci. They see Brasi's devotion, see his emotional response, see his absolute loyalty, and they understand something critical. Vito Corleone's power isn't just strategic, it's personal. He inspires loyalty that cannot be bought, cannot be threatened, cannot be broken. Don Barzini speaks quietly to Tattaglia. We cannot kill Vito Corleone while Luca Brasi lives. The man would die protecting him, would hunt us forever, would never stop, never rest, never forgive. Tattaglia agrees. Then we must remove Brasi first, separate him from Vito, create vulnerability. Only then can we move against Corleone. They begin planning, waiting, watching for opportunity. Brasi as obstacle must be eliminated. But how? How do you kill man who fears nothing? Who kills without hesitation? Who serves with absolute devotion? Answer comes months later. Virgil, the Turk, Solozzo, drug dealer, wants Corleone protection for narcotics operation, offers partnership. Vito refuses. Drugs destroy communities, destroy families. Against everything Vito believes. Solozzo needs Vito gone. Partners with Tattaglia family, plans assassination, but knows, cannot touch Vito while Brasi lives. Must eliminate enforcer first, but direct attack fails. Brasi too dangerous, too skilled, too protected, so they use psychology, use manipulation, use Brasi's own loyalty against him. Vito gives Brasi assignment, dangerous assignment, suspicious assignment. Pretend you are dissatisfied working for me, approach Solozzo. Convince him you want to switch sides, gather information, learn his plans, report back. Brasi hesitates. Don Corleone, this is trick. They will know. They will suspect. Perhaps, Vito agrees. But I need to know Solozzo's intentions, need to understand his connections, need intelligence before making decision. You are only man I trust for this. Trust. That word, that sacred word. Vito trusts him, needs him, relies on him. How can Brasi refuse? How can he disappoint? How can he fail man who saved him? I will do this, Brasi says. For you, for Famlo, for everything you gave me. Vito clasps his shoulder. Be careful, Luca. Solozzo is dangerous. Trust nobody. If anything feels wrong, abort mission. Come home. Your life matters more than information. But Brasi doesn't hear warning, only hears trust, only hears need, only hears opportunity to prove loyalty once more, to demonstrate worth, to show that transformation was real. That warehouse conversation 12 years ago changed everything permanently. Bruno Tattaglia arranges meeting, Solozzo's nightclub, private room, just business discussion, just exploration of possibilities. Brasi agrees, arrives alone, as instructed, as loyalty demands, enters nightclub, December evening, cold, dark. Inside is warm, music playing, people drinking. Bruno Tattaglia waits at bar, smiles, gestures toward back room. Mr. Solozzo is waiting, eager to meet you, hear your proposition. Brasi follows, through crowd, down hallway, to private room, door opens, Solozzo sits at table, 2 bodyguards behind him. Bruno enters after Brasi, closes door, locks it, something wrong. Brasi feels it, instinct screaming, trap, ambush, danger, should leave, should abort, should trust gut. But loyalty overrides survival. Vito needs information, Brasi will get information, no matter cost. Luca Brasi, Solozzo says, smiles, false smile, predator smile. I hear you're unhappy working for Don Corleone. Here you want better opportunities, better money, better respect. I want what every man wants, Brasi says carefully. Playing role, recognition, appreciation, fair compensation. Of course, Solozzo agrees, gestures to chair. Sit, let's discuss possibilities. Brasi sits, table between them. Bodyguards shift position, closer now, flanking him. Bruno Tattaglia moves too, behind Brasi, surrounding him. Classic ambush formation. Brasi's hand moves toward knife, instinct, survival, but too late. Solozzo nods, signal. Bruno grabs Brasi's hand, slams it onto table. Knife drives through palm, pinning hand to wood. Pain explodes. Brasi roars, reaches for Bruno with free hand, but bodyguard wraps piano wire around his throat. From behind, sudden, professional, practiced. Wire tightens, cutting, strangling. Brasi thrashes, powerful, even dying. Throws bodyguard off balance, but wire holds. Second bodyguard joins, 2 men pulling. Brasi's face purples. Blood from hand pools on table. Blood from throat drips down chest. He fights. God, how he fights. 12 years of loyalty. 12 years of purpose. 12 years of family. Cannot end like this. Cannot fail, Vito. Cannot break promise made in warehouse. Promise to protect. Promise to serve. Promise to die for family. And now he dies. But not protecting. Dying in trap. Dying in ambush. Dying because loyalty made him vulnerable. Because trust made him foolish. Because love made him weak. Piano wire cuts deeper. Brasi struggles slow. Weaken. Stop. Body slumps. Dead. The most loyal enforcer in New York. The man who transformed from monster to martyr. Killed by his own devotion. Solozzo releases breath. Wrap him in his vest. Add dead fish. Old Sicilian message. Send to Corleone. Let him know. Luca Brasi sleeps with the fishes. Package arrives next day. Corleone compound. Tom Hagen opens it. Sees vest. Sees fish. Understands immediately. Tells Vito. Luca Brasi is dead. Vito sits quietly. Says nothing. But tears form. First time anyone sees Don Corleone cry. Not for soldier. For man. For soul he saved. For life he transformed. For loyalty he inspired. Luca Brasi died protecting family. Died trusting Vito. Died proving that warehouse conversation 12 years ago was real, was lasting, was worth dying for. Other families learn. Message spreads. Vito Corleone's power proven, not through violence, through transformation, through loyalty so absolute that man died willingly, died knowingly, died because serving Vito mattered more than living. This is power they cannot match, cannot buy, cannot steal. This is power that changes monsters into men, that turns psychopaths into protectors, that makes enemies into martyrs. The reversal complete, the lesson learned. The man who came to kill Vito's son died protecting Vito's family, forever. 1 year after Luca Brasi's death, New York underworld forever changed. 5 families meet, discuss territories, discuss operations, discuss future, but mostly discuss lesson nobody can ignore. Vito Corleone transformed monster into martyr, turned psychopath into protector, made enemy into family, and when Brasi died, died willingly, died protecting, died proving that loyalty inspired by understanding lasts beyond death itself. Don Barzini speaks first. We made mistake, thought killing Brasi removed the obstacle, instead created legend. Now every soldier in New York knows Vito Corleone inspires loyalty worth dying for, makes our men question, makes them wonder. If Luca Brasi, fierce psychopath, served Corleone with such devotion, what does Vito know that we don't? Don Tartaglia agrees. My men whisper. They ask, what did Vito say in warehouse 12 years ago? What conversation turned killer into family man? What power does he possess that we lack? They cannot answer, because they never understood. Power built on fear is temporary. Power built on understanding is eternal. Vito saw Luca Brasi, really saw him. Past monster, past crimes, past reputation, saw a wounded boy who never healed, offered healing, offered family, offered purpose beyond violence. That power, transformative, psychological, permanent, cannot be replicated, cannot be taught, cannot be stolen. Either you understand human nature or you don't. Vito understood. Other Dons only understood fear. Within Corleone family, Brasi's absence felt daily. Vito moves differently now, more carefully, more vulnerable. Brasi was shield, was deterrent, was guarantee that nobody touched Don without facing consequences worse than death. Now shield is gone. Vito knows, others know. War becomes inevitable. Without Brasi, Corleone family looks weaker. Targets painted on their backs. 5 families circle, testing, probing, waiting for moment to strike. But they underestimate one thing. Brasi's legacy lives beyond his death. His loyalty inspired others. Clemenza remembers warehouse conversation. Tessio remembers transformation. Every soldier who served alongside Brasi learned Vito Corleone is worth dying for, not because he commands, because he understands, because he sees, because he offers family instead of fear. Michael Corleone returns from Sicily, father shot, brothers endangered, family at war. He transforms from war hero to soldier, from college boy to killer, becomes what he swore never to become. And through it all, remembers Luca Brasi, remembers monster who became protector, remembers loyalty that transcended logic. When Michael becomes Don, needs his own enforcer, his own shield, his own Luca Brasi, finds Al Neri, disgraced cop, angry man, violent man who killed without hesitation and got fired for brutality. Michael sees past reputation, sees potential, sees possibility, takes Neri aside, talks to him, not as boss, as man, understands his anger, understands his violence, understands his need for purpose, offers family, offers belonging, offers chance to be something beyond weapon. Al Neri becomes Michael's Luca Brasi, loyal, devoted, willing to die, not because Michael threatens, because Michael understood, because transformation possible, because Vito taught his sons, greatest power is changing hearts, not breaking them. Other families notice pattern. Corleones don't just recruit soldiers, they transform them. They take broken men and give them purpose. They offer family instead of employment, create loyalty that survives death, that inspires sacrifice, that builds empire on foundations stronger than fear. By 1955, Corleone family dominates, not through superior violence, through superior loyalty, through understanding, through transformative power Vito demonstrated with Luca Brasi 12 years earlier. Old neighborhood remembers Elizabeth Street, where Brasi grew up, where his father died, where his mother suffered. They tell stories about psychopath who found family, about monster who became man, about transformation that proved redemption possible. Young boys listen, growing up in poverty, in violence, in darkness. They hear about Luca Brasi and think, maybe I can change too. Maybe someone will see me, really see me. Maybe family exists for broken souls. This is Brasi's true legacy. Not fear, not violence, not reputation as killer, but hope. Hope that monsters can become men, that wounded souls can heal, that belonging exists for those willing to serve, willing to protect, willing to choose family over everything. Tom Hagen visits Carmela Corleone 10 years after Brasi's death. They sit in garden, drink coffee, remember fallen soldiers, remember sacrifices made, remember loyalty that built empire. I think about Luca sometimes, Carmela says quietly. About that morning, when Vito brought Santino home, when that terrible man carried my baby. I was so afraid, so angry, wanted Vito to kill him. But he didn't, Tom responds. No, he saved him instead, saw something nobody else saw, gave him chance nobody else would give. And Luca. Voice breaks. Luca spent 12 years proving Vito right, died proving it. That's real power, not forcing loyalty, inspiring it. Tom nods, remembers Brasi practicing wedding speech, giant man nervous as schoolboy, terrified of disappointing Dawn. That kind of devotion cannot be faked, cannot be bought, can only be earned through understanding, through acceptance, through love. By 1960, Luca Brasi's name is a legend, not as killer, as a loyal soldier, as proof that Vito Corleone possessed power beyond violence, power to transform, power to redeem, power to make family from enemies. Other gangsters study Corleone methods, try to replicate, try to inspire same loyalty. They fail, because they miss crucial element. Vito genuinely cared, didn't manipulate Brasi, understood him, saw his pain, offered healing. Cannot fake that, cannot replicate through strategy. Either you see humanity in monsters, or you don't. Vito Corleone saw humanity in everyone, even psychopaths, even killers, even men who came to murder his newborn son. This was his genius. This was his power. This was why he became godfather while others remained mere bosses. Brasi's story spreads beyond New York, to Chicago, to Los Angeles, to Las Vegas. Everywhere organized crime exists, they tell story. About conversation in warehouse, about 3 hours that changed everything, about monster who became martyr. And everywhere they tell it, men listen. Broken men, violent men, angry men, men who thought themselves irredeemable. They hear story and think, maybe I could change too. Maybe someone could see me. Maybe family exists for people like me. This is ultimate legacy, not body count, not fear inspired, not enemies destroyed, but hope created. Hope that transformation possible, that second chances exist, that family accepts broken souls willing to heal. Santino Corleone, baby Brasi almost killed, grows up hearing stories about giant man who carried him to warehouse, who held him gently, who returned him safe, who spent 12 years protecting him. Sonny becomes hothead, violent, impulsive, everything his father taught against, but remembers Brasi, remembers loyalty, remembers sacrifice, and when his own time comes, when he dies at toll booth, betrayed and ambushed, dies protecting family, just like Brasi, just like every man who served Vito Corleone learned to do. The lesson passes generations. Michael teaches his children about grandfather, about power, about understanding, about man named Luca Brasi, who came as enemy and died as family. Remember, Michael tells them, power isn't just taking what you want. Real power is changing hearts, making enemies into allies, building loyalty that survives death. Your grandfather understood this, practiced this, proved it with Luca Brasi. 70 years later, they still tell story. In Italy, in America, anywhere Godfather legacy exists, about psychopath who found family, about 3-hour conversation that transformed soul, about monster who became man because someone saw him, really saw him, and offered chance nobody else would give. The man who came to kill Vito's son became the man who died protecting Vito's family. The psychopath who knew only violence learned loyalty beyond reason. The monster who destroyed everything found purpose in protecting everything. 3 hours in warehouse. 3 hours of truth. 3 hours that proved greatest power isn't violence, isn't fear, isn't force. Greatest power is understanding human heart, seeing past monster to wounded man beneath, offering family instead of death, creating loyalty that survives beyond grave. This was Vito Corleone's genius. This was Luca Brasi's redemption. This was lesson that built empire forever.